definitely haven't ran into to put on the trust. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kevin Wallace.
That's good too. This is for Daddy. This is for you. What are you talking about? Get a good watch. What? My t***s ain't sucking themselves. Now you get down here.
America accepts the reality that a man is trapped in a woman's body than to believe that all black people are inherently criminals.
Kevin Hart just announced he now fully supports the LGBTQ and trans community. He said the backlash he received over his old homophobic tweets was a necessary wake-up call. He claims he's done the work, educated himself, and now wants to use his platform to support these groups. But is that really what happened? Or did Kevin's handlers tell him he had to say that? Because this is the same Kevin Hart who years ago said his biggest fear as a father was having a gay son. But fast forward to now, and he's saying he wouldn't care at all. So when Kevin now says that he supports the queer and trans community, did he really change his mind? Or is he following an order? Well, if you ask DL Hughley, it's definitely the latter.
Would you rather have a gay son or a daughter?
I would rather have 2 healthy kids. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Because the timing is interesting. Kevin Hart is not just a comedian anymore. He's a brand. He has a production company, million-dollar endorsement deals, movie franchises, and a streaming empire. And he knows that in 2026, being openly anti-trans is a liability. And DL Hughley and Cat Williams have been warning us about Kevin for years, and now he is out here promoting an agenda to kids. Between 2009 and 2011, Kevin posted dozens of tweets saying anti-gay stuff. He even said that if his son tried to play with a dollhouse, he would smash it over his head. He also used slurs and called someone a fat-faced F-word. And it wasn't just the tweets. Kevin's stand-up specials contained the same material. In his 2010 special, Seriously Funny, he told audiences that one of his biggest fears was his son growing up to be gay.
I'm gonna tell you guys one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is my son growing up and being gay. Dude, but me being a heterosexual male, if I can prevent my son from being gay, I will.
So that's who Kevin Hart was on the record for years. But then came the Oscars. In December 2018, Kevin was announced as the host of the 91st Academy Awards. He called it the opportunity of a lifetime. But less than 48 hours later, he was out. Here's what happened. After his hosting announcement, people dug up those old tweets, the dollhouse tweet, the slurs, the F-word. And at first, Kevin refused to apologize. He claimed he changed and told critics to stop being so negative. But then, less than 24 hours later, he flipped and tweeted an apology. He wrote, "I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words from my past." So it sounds like Kevin got the call, and he did what they told him to do. And then came the humiliation ritual. It wasn't enough for Kevin to apologize just once. They also sent him on this apology tour, and he went on every talk show to talk about how much he supported the LGBTQ community.
I'm a little upset because I know who I am. I know I don't have a homophobic bone in my body. I know that I've addressed it. I know that I've apologized. I don't want to step on that stage and make that night about me and my past.
But that still wasn't enough. The next stage was forcing Kevin to reverse his stance on playing gay characters. Kevin previously turned down the chance to play gay rapper Al Pacino in Tropic Thunder, and when they asked him whether he'd ever play a gay character, he said, "I can't, not because I have any ill will or disrespect. It's because I don't think I'm really going to dive into that role 100% because of insecurities about myself trying to play that part." But that's another thing Kevin flipped on. In his 2024 interview with Z-Way, Kevin was asked that same question, and this time, he said he's ready to play a gay role.
If you're asking what I mean, I think now in my career, I don't know, I probably would, depending on what it was. I'm in a little more creative space than I was.
And by the way, Kevin did play a gay role already. Well, sort of. In Scary Movie 4, he played a character named CJ. The movie parodies Brokeback Mountain by having the characters CJ and Mahalik, played by Anthony Anderson, engage in an intimate relationship.
Hey, you cold?
A little bit.
CJ? What are you doing?
I just want to eat some penis.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes.
And Cat Williams called this out. Cat called Kevin an industry plant. Cat said that in 15 years in Hollywood, nobody has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show where there was a line around the block or a standing ovation at a comedy club. His point was that Kevin's rise didn't look like other comedians' rises.
He already had his deals when he got here. He heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane. What do you think a plant is?
Then Kat made a more specific accusation. He claimed Kevin accepted roles offered to him only after Kat insisted on removing gay elements from the characters.
Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay. It's all right. For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk. That all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was. And acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard.
But Kat didn't stop there. At Kevin's Netflix roast last month, Kat showed up as a surprise guest, and he doubled down on the industry plant talk. He said the head of Netflix has his whole hand up Kevin's behind and can make him do anything. And yeah, it was a joke, but it also pointed to something real.
I tried to tell y'all that Kevin Hart was a plant. Cause I keep burying him, he keeps springing back the up. Just like a plant. I did say that Kevin was a Hollywood puppet, and I want to explain that. Because it might not be what you think. I meant that the head of Netflix literally has his whole hand up Kevin's ass and can make him do anything.
And did Kat lie? Kevin is undeniably a hard worker, but that's just half of the story. And when you combine that with his carefully managed image pivots, the way Kevin went from homophobic rants to saying he's an LGBTQ and trans ally, this Hollywood puppet narrative starts to make sense. Now, DL Hughley came out and said that the problem isn't Kevin saying he's got nothing against the gay and trans community. It's the fact that he's too scared to say what he really thinks. Like the fact that being gay or trans shouldn't mean you have to be a walking stereotype. And yet, that's exactly what Hollywood promotes. And if you say you're against that, you're instantly labeled homophobic or transphobic.
You can love dudes and not act like a broad, right?
Right, because he really wears dresses.
Hey man, I get it. You can love dudes, but you ain't a broad. You're a girl. You're a man.
Right.
So don't. And if you listen, we live in an America that believes that it's more. America accepts the reality that a man is trapped in a woman's body than to believe that all black people are inherently criminal. You can like dudes, or you could like people of the same sex. What you need a person to do that for? You ain't doing that.
Now, I think we can all sense that when Kevin Hart says he now fully supports the LGBTQ+ and trans community, he doesn't really mean it. It's kind of like when Magic Johnson says he fully supports his son EJ, but you can literally tell by his voice and body language that that's just something he has to say to keep his status in the industry. Kevin went from joking about breaking a dollhouse over his son's head to publicly announcing his support for the LGBTQ and trans community. He went from saying, "If I can prevent my son from being gay, I will," to claiming he's evolved and done the work. And if that was really the case, nobody would have an issue with it. People change and grow. There's nothing controversial about that. But when you only change because the people who sign your check tell you what to think and what to say, then don't get mad when your fellow comedians call you a plant and a puppet. The Oscars fallout wasn't some wake-up call like Kevin claims. It was a warning shot from the higher-ups. He refused to apologize at first, and look what happened. He lost the gig, his name was in every negative headline, and his brand took a hit. Then Ellen DeGeneres called, the Academy reached out, and Kevin's publicists went to work. And suddenly, Kevin was sorry. He was educated. He now fully supports the LGBTQ and trans community, and he's ready to play a gay character. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if next we hear that one of Kevin's kids is transitioning. After all, at this point, Kevin Hart is not even a real person with real convictions anymore. He's a product. So when people get upset at Kevin for saying he now loves the trans community, or when he defends a racist joke, that's not him talking. That's that hand up his behind. But let me know your thoughts on all this. Is Kevin just a puppet controlled by the industry puppet masters? How do you feel about him reversing his stance on the LGBTQ community? Drop your comments below and stay tuned for the next video.